Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Your game is coming up next. But here's some information from the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
6 easy ways to become an MVP. And by MVP, we mean most valuable parent. Like all of us, the parents of high school athletes tend to protect their children from adversity, or they overly involve themselves by advocating for their success. But when they do, they're negating the value of participating in high school sports. Among other lessons, high school sports teach teenagers to take nothing for granted, how to overcome obstacles, and that an extraordinary commitment of time and effort is required in order to reach goals and experience achievement. High school sports also encourage independence and self-sufficiency, attributes that are needed to be successful in life. It's natural for parents to love their children, and it's important to support them in as many ways as possible. With this in mind, here are 6 easy ways that you can be the MVP of your child's high school team. Number 1, attend your children's games as often as possible. Nothing demonstrates interest and involvement more than being there. And be sure to invite Grandma and Grandpa to come along with you. Number 2, cheer for all the kids on the team, not just your own. Here's a test for you. Do you know all the players on your child's team? Could you say hello to them by their first name? Embracing the entire team is a great way to show that your interest is sincere. Number 3, be a resource for your child's team. Does a teammate need help with transportation? Is the team trying to raise money for new uniforms? Is someone needed to organize a pizza party before the tournament starts? Maybe you can help. Number 4, try not to criticize the coach or the officials in front of your child. Hey, you're human, and there may be times when you need to vent. But be careful when and to whom you do it. Criticizing the coaching staff undermines its credibility and tends to put your child in the middle. And games are seldom won or lost because of an official's call. Remember, coaches and officials are objective. Most parents are not. Empower your child to talk with the coach about concerns. Everybody wants more playing time, and understandably so. But encourage your children to have that conversation with their coaches instead of you doing it for them. Giving teenagers the confidence and conviction to speak up for themselves is one of the greatest benefits of participating in high school sports. Number 6, focus on the life lessons your children are learning, not on win-loss records or how many points they're scoring. According to the NC2A, only about 2% of all high school athletes win a sports scholarship, and the average value of it is less than $11,000. But every child will benefit from the lessons they've learned as a result of participating in high school sports for the rest of their lives. It's difficult being the parent of a high school athlete. There's far more emotion and social pressure involved than is ideal. But if you follow these 6 pointers, not only will your children love and respect you, but so will their teammates and coaches. And you might even be named MVP. Thank you for your support of high school athletics in Indiana. Stay tuned now. The Indiana SRN game is next. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Good evening and welcome to Crispus Attucks High School. It's Keith Myers along with Jimmy Cook. It's the Jefferson Red Devils and these Attucks Tigers. The girls are ready. We're ready. Let's go up to Jimmy and he'll start our pregame. It's Jeffersonville. It's Crispus Attucks on Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game. Jimmy.
Thanks so much, Coach. And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to historic Crispus Attucks High School. Just near the 65 North split, just off of Martin Luther King Jr. Street. So pleased you've chosen to spend part of your Thursday night with us here on Indiana SRN. As Coach mentioned, the Jeffersonville Red Devils and the Crispus Attucks Flying Tigers set to do battle here in just under 20 minutes from now. Now, both of these two teams highly regarded within Class 4A, particularly in the coaches poll, where Crispus Attucks has interchanged over the last couple of weeks between ranked at 15 and 16, and Jeffersonville currently right at 12th in the coaches poll. Neither of these teams, Jeffersonville rather, making an appearance in the media poll. Crispus Attucks, though, not found in that top 15 selection of media polling in the Class 4A polls. But coaches polls, both teams getting love. This is a relatively new series between the two schools. The first ever meeting in the last 38 years took place last year. That was a Crispus Attucks victory. And a lot of experts around the state think that this could very well be a Crispus Attucks win again tonight, as Coach has made the walk over and back here in the broadcast booth with us. Coach, a Thursday night, couldn't think of a better way to get the new year started than between a top 4A battle. Where do you see these two programs in terms of where they are right now as we get closer, as the calendar year is now flipped? We're just about 2 months away, less than 2 months away from the start of the state tournament.
You know, you look at both of these teams, Crispus Attucks at 6-2. As you said, they're mentioned at 15th in the coaches poll. Jeffersonville 6-3, the 12th in the coaches poll. Jeffersonville played a great tournament up in Kokomo, won all three games, played very, very well, beat a couple of South Bend teams that could be very, very good coming toward the state tournament-wise. But, you know, you talk to both coaches, and they're thinking this is going to be a track meet. So I hope you're ready, because on your mark, get set, go, we may not get a break until the end of the game. And, you know, if this is a high-scoring game, 70 is going to be pretty easy.
For the Tigers, they're led by head coach Chris Hawkins. This is his fourth year at Crispus Attucks. He's 71-20. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that when we go to our starting lineups. But, of course, one of those seasons includes for the first time in 58 years, championship banner being hung in this building. So much prestige around Crispus Attucks for so long. The great Oscar Robinson, of course, the most well-known name to come out of this school. But championship pedigree was reestablished within Coach Hawkins' regime, and he feels like he has another strong team with this group as well.
You know, you talk to him, and he tells you that it's all about his system and what he wants his kids to do. 2017, not too long ago. So those kids are familiar with the heritage, and the crazy thing is, on a Friday night or a Saturday night before that happened, there is no one in here. This place will be starting to fill up a little bit. Band is off today. They're on Christmas break, so they won't be filling that bleacher. But if you look around, there's some people here, and Hoosier Basketball Magazine came out today. And I tell you what, if you want to get one, you might want to get it tonight here at Crispus Attucks, or you can call Hoosier Basketball Magazine at HoosierBasketballMagazine.com, or their number is 317-925-8200. And if you go to page 59, there's a lovely picture of Indiana SRN right there.
Man,
so
there you go.
You can't beat that.
Always good to get around this time of year when the atmosphere and the amplification of the hype around this great state, and especially the state tournament, starts to get underway. We're still obviously ways off from that, but no better companion piece than that piece of literature right there.
Yeah, and you talk about we're less than 10 weeks away from the sectional tournament, so that's very interesting. And this is a very important game for Crispus Attucks for a couple of things. Ratings, or the Sagarin ratings, help them with the City Alliance bracket. They would like to be the number one seed. Right now, that belongs to Cathedral High School. Attucks is number 2. these two games this weekend for Crispus Attucks is huge. Jeffersonville tonight, and then Saturday go right back to Lawrence North and play Lawrence North at Lawrence North, which is on Indiana SRN. Big game. For Jeffersonville, their schedule begins to lighten up a little bit because they have played a lot of top 10, top 20 opponents. They go home and they play Tell City on Saturday. So their schedule gets a little bit easier. Crispus Attucks' schedule keeps on getting tougher and tougher and tougher.
And that's an interesting point that you bring up there. On the Red Devils side, Coach Chris Moore, his first year at the helm of the Red Devils, already out to a 6-3 mark. And you mentioned some very tough competition to open things up for the Red Devils. Now they're there, 6 games above 500. This is a tough test tonight, but a win that would really help cushion what is, in theory, on paper, a much lighter burden on their shoulders as they get closer to state tournament time. We always talk about it, how important it is to be riding a nice winning streak going into state tournament time, because nothing is better than playing your best basketball and be on a hot streak at the right time.
Well, you look at their schedule, Jimmy. My goodness, they went to Kokomo last week, and that's a long haul from Jeffersonville, Indiana to Kokomo. Then today they leave to go to Indianapolis. They leave at 2 o'clock, get here at 4 o'clock. Thought there was a freshman game, miscommunication by both athletic directors, so they stayed around and shot around a little bit. So they're pretty inclined to the facility. They're looking forward to it. I think this is the first time a couple of these kids have been in at Crispus Attucks and the heritage that Crispus Attucks High School has. And the Hall of Fame, folks, if you want to see a neat Hall of Fame, you need to come visit the Crispus Attucks Hall of Fame. It is fantastic. It's just fantastic, and you should come visit. It's open daily. Come and see it. What a good atmosphere.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we talked about it for so long. There had been that huge gap between title success for Crispus Attucks, and it's very tough, especially in this state, to reestablish yourself as a program and get things rolling on the right footing and consistently churn out top level classes that are amongst the best in the state. For Crispus Attucks and for Coach Hawkins, he has shown that he has the capability to do that. He knows where to push the right buttons for the Flying Tigers and has a strong feeling for where their ceiling could be come March.
If both teams win out, Crispus Attucks goes south, so does Jeffersonville. This could be a semi-state matchup. And I'm telling you what, folks, you're in for a treat tonight. There's only 8 games in the state of Indiana. We're one of the 8.
And debatably the best.
We do have the best game on the schedule, and we're excited about being this. And I don't know if there's folks in Jeffersonville, because I talked to the assistant coaches, and they're all getting out, sending out the tweets. And, one guy said, I'll have my dad listen to me in Louisville and watch us in Louisville. And so I know we have a statewide audience and a worldwide audience tonight. So if you want to contact us during the game, at IndianaSRN.org. That's at IndianaSRN. We would love to have a shout-out for you. Or you can email me, coach@IndianaSRN.org.
And the same on my end as well. We don't usually read tweets during the broadcast, but if the shout-out's good enough, we'd always be happy to.
You
That's
bet.
at THE at the J Cook, JCOOK. We're going to step out for the first time here on our pregame show. And again, thank all of you, whether you're Jeffersonville, whether you're Crispus Attucks, or whether you're just tuning in for a great night of high school basketball here in the state of Indiana. We thank you for being a part of our broadcast. Stepping out for the first time, when we come back, we'll dive a little bit deeper in between this recently started series between the two schools, talk about the direction they're headed moving forward, as we are, as Coach mentioned, around 10 weeks away from the start of the Indiana High School Basketball State Tournament. All that and much more upcoming after this. It's Crispus Attucks and it's Jeffersonville on Indiana SRN.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake. Yeah.
It's a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got a counter right here. Isn't this where you place the orders?
We sell trophies, we sell plaques, we do embroidery. No food.
You got carry out?
Unlike the internet, everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
You know, Jim, I'll be back tomorrow to pick it all up.
We'll wait for you.
Don't wait long.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Welcome back to historic Crispus Attucks High School. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach Keith Myers. So pleased you've chosen to spend part of your Thursday evening with us. The Flying Tigers of Crispus Attucks set to do battle against the Red Devils of Jeffersonville. Before we go any further, let's take a look briefly at the capsule for both these schools. We already talked about the head coaching figures. Chris Moore for Jeffersonville in his first year, and Chris Hawkins in his fourth year at Crispus Attucks, a state title under his belt. In terms of the Sagarin ratings, Coach touched on that a little bit in our first segment. Attucks ranked 15th overall by that metric, 12th in 4A. Jeffersonville nipping at the heels right there, 17th overall and 13th in 4A. Coming into tonight's contest, Jeffersonville, when they last were on the floor, defeated South Bend Adams 52-44, and Crispus Attucks able to knock off North Central 82-75 in their last outing. Combined record for the opponents on the schedule for both these teams. For Jeffersonville, it's 40-22. That talks, as Coach mentioned, to this prestige of their schedule to start the year, a very heavily meat and bones, tough, grinded out way to open the season. And no knock on Crispus Attucks. There's a lot of meat there also on their opening portion of the schedule, but their opponent's combined record just over 500 at 33-30. As for the series between these two schools, well, there's not really a rivalry here. There's just one meeting in the last 35 years. That one came last December 27th of 2018. So in other words, the start of the year, of course, last December. I'm talking well over a year ago, just before we were counting down the new year to 2019. That was a 94-91 win for Crispus Attucks. With just about 3 minutes before the tip and the national anthem, Coach, for both these teams, we talked about how much it means for them moving forward. For Crispus Attucks, though, and maybe we didn't hammer that point home enough, you kind of put the dressing on it, but it's been a schedule that maybe the competition hasn't been nearly as tippy-top to open the season as Jeffersonville's had, but it would be a great win on your schedule if you're able to protect home court against a high-powered and quality Red Devil squad.
Well, let's say, they did play Lawrence Central, so we got to look at that one. They're going to play Lawrence North on Saturday. I wouldn't say it's an easy schedule.
But it's coming for them.
Yeah.
It's not.
But, this is what you play high school basketball for.
Right.
A year ago, this team is a 3A ball club. They get beat by Silver Creek in the semi-state, and because of that, guess what? Hello, you're in 4A this year.
Welcome.
So you look at, Silver Creek is probably thrilled to death that Attucks is no longer in 3A. So it's been a very, very interesting road for Chris Hawkins in this ball club. They will be ready for this task. I'm sure Chris, they didn't play any holiday tournament, so they got to maybe have a little bit more workouts and a little bit more relaxed atmosphere, if you will, than Jeffersonville. But, this is a game where a lot of people have started this game. I mean, if you look at the press corps upstairs, you got the Hoosier basketball, you got the Indianapolis Star News, you got Basketball Independence, you got all kinds of people here watching this ball game. One, because there's not many games this week or here tonight in the city. But this is a big matchup game. And a lot of people know that. And, again, we talk about if both win out, this could be a very, very crucial semi-state ball game that could be played down in the southern part of the state in March.
Those are always fun when you get that type of flair and valor to begin your calendar year when you know that there's a potential for a rematch down the line. And both these two tough quality opponents, to say the least. And as Coach mentions, with Class 4A being the new normal here for the Tigers of Crispus Attucks, they're adjusting quite fine for right now, even though about half of those first couple games were Class 3A opponents, but nevertheless, they're getting their money's worth for 4A schools as well, coming in winners of 4 of their last 5 and riding a 2-game winning streak. For Jeffersonville, they're winners of also 4 of their last 5 and ride a 3-game winning streak after capturing their holiday tournament when they won that championship game against South Bend Adams. Coach, some final thoughts before obviously we'll look at your keys in the next segment, but some final thoughts before we step away from the national anthem.
I think the pace of this game will be up and down, and we'll see who hits open shots and who will make those open shots. That's what will tell the tale of the tape. Whoever scores the most points is going to win this game, right? But let's see who's going to come out the aggressive tonight. So I'm looking forward to it. With both teams having records of 6-2 and 6-3, it should be a lot of fun. Again, both are ranked in the top 20. We look forward to spending the night with you here on Indiana SRN, and we hope that you enjoy it as well as we will, because this should be a great ball game, and got a lot of games in store for you all weekend long, so stay with us on Indiana SRN.
Yeah, a strong list of games, and as Coach will mention a little bit later in the broadcast, but if you're wanting to be a part of the Indiana SRN family of networks, be sure to go to indianasrn.org for all the latest game times and scheduling information. You can find us on YouTube at Indiana SRN. You can follow us on Twitter at Indiana SRN, and of course, like our Facebook page as well, we'll be pumping that all night long. And Coach, lastly, if you're wanting to get involved with our fine program here and help us put more games on the air for these young athletes, where we want to go to do that?
You can contact us anytime. Coach at indianasrn.org. We'd love to have you.
We're going to step out for the final time. When we come back, we'll have Coach's keys, lineups, and the tip between Crispus Attucks and Jeffersonville on Indiana SRN.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Welcome back to historic Crispus Attucks High School. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach Keith Myers. It's now time to take a look at the starting lineups for both these teams, starting first with the visiting Jeffersonville Red Devils. They come in at 6-3 on the season and are led by one forward, a 6'6 senior.
Moments of silence for Robert Jackson here.
Good point.
Thank you. Okay, Jimmy, I'm sorry.
That's all right. They are led by a 6'6 senior. Number 0, Trey Coleman. At the other forward slot, a 6'5 sophomore. Number 1, Will Lovings-Watt. At one guard, a 5'10 senior. Number 3, Darren Starks. At the other guard position, a 5'10 senior. Number 11, Jacob Jones. And at the other guard position, a 5'8 sophomore. Number 2, Kobe Stoudemire. We mentioned head coach of the Red Devils is Chris Moore. He is 6-3 in his first year at the helm of the Red Devils. And for the home Crispus Attucks Flying Tigers, 4-time state champions in Indiana high school basketball. They are led by one guard, a 6'1" senior, number 0, Sincere McMahon. At the other guard spot, a 5'7" senior, number 1, Jason Hall. At the forward position, a 6'4" junior, number 2, Donovan Barnett. At the other forward position, a 6'5" sophomore, number 5, Malik Tansmore. And at the other forward position, a 6'6" junior, number 22, Jalen Carson. In his 4th year as the head coach of Crispus Attucks, it's Chris Hawkins. He is 71-20 with 1 state title under his belt and a Final Four appearance last year. As the in-house announcer for Crispus Attucks rolls through their starting lineup, it's time for one of my favorite moments of the game, and one of yours as well. It's time for the coaches' keys to the game. Coach.
Keys to the game. I got a sponsor. You ready for this?
Oh, really?
McIntyre Imaging.
I love it.
Sponsors the keys to the game. If you like to sponsor keys to the game, contact us, coach@indianasrn.org. McIntyre's keys to the game for both teams. They got to get off to a quick start. Both teams have to rebound well. Both teams got to get the 50-50 ball. For Attucks, Crispus Attucks, they got to knock down at least 75% of their free throws. And for Jeffersonville to stay in the ball game, I think they got to knock down free throws too. But this game could be won on the free throw line. If this game gets to 75, wow, because then we're going to travel pretty quickly.
75 is the mark.
75 is the magic number.
All right. We've yet to hit a magic number so far tonight. So
or this year. So
that's true. So far tonight. Well, no, it's not true. Well, you haven't done a
that's
broadcast
right.
yet in 2020.
That's
so
right.
calendar year, this is a fresh, clean slate.
Hey, the officials tonight is signed by the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Chris Shields, Byron Davis, and Jeff Cortell. Good job for these men. Looking forward to it. This is going to be a war. Thanks for coming and joining us.
Jeffersonville in the traditional road reds with the white numerals and lettering and the white trim. Meanwhile, Crispus Attucks in the white jerseys, green numerals and lettering, and the gold trim. It'll be Trey Coleman 6'6" to jump it up with Jalen Carson 6'6" for Jeffersonville and Crispus Attucks respectively.
I love the gray trim around the thigh of Jefferson's uniforms.
It's a nice touch to accent the uniform. They win the tip, immediately a play run out of the opening tip, and that layup is good by Jacob Jones. And just like that, 3 seconds in, the Red Devils draw first blood.
Jeffersonville going to a 3-2 zone, making you shoot outside.
Let's see how well Attucks can counter with it. They go inside initially, a nice rejection from behind by Coleman. Up the floor come the Red Devils. In a trap, there is Lovings-Watt. Has to get rid of it, and he does. We quickly see how fast both these teams want to run. Lovings-Watt for 3 off the mark, and the board to the Flying Tigers. So the pace is definitely there, as Coach mentioned. An early 2-0 lead for the Red Devils. Corner triple, found the weak spot in the zone, and that's knocked down by Malik Tansmore. The first basket for the Flying Tigers.
Crispus Attucks now going, look like a man chaser. Now it goes back to man-to-man.
Down the lane, an aggressive layup is left off the side of the backboard. A wild shot, and the board leaks out to the Tigers. Pocket pick from behind. Both these teams exchanging turnovers. There's another turnover. This time it's Hall that got it back, had it rejected, then regathered, and he'll reset.
Tell you what, the quick hands, Jimmy, you got to be very careful. I like that the officials are not using the quick whistle. They're watching the whole entire play and let them play. They're going to call whatever is necessary. Advantage, disadvantage tonight.
That's a skip pass. That's what you'd hope with a matchup like this, as a 3 is there by McMahon that he knocks down from straight away. The senior puts that in. Second triple of the ball game for the Tigers, and their lead now is 4. Second lead of the game for them.
And, folks, he'll shoot the ball anywhere. I mean, anywhere on the court.
Jones thought about going down the lane. Now dishes off to Lovings-Watt. Make that Stoudemire. They kick it out to Lovings-Watt for 3. That's wide to the left. McMahon. He'll reset things. Under 6 to go. Just a minute gone in this opening quarter. As fast as advertised. Triple in the air. Triple off the mark by Barnett. Board cleared by the Red Devils. So far, the Tigers getting all the 3s they could hope for, as that's an aggressive drive by Jones. He absorbed some contact. Credit that foul on Jalen Carson. That'll be the first by either team. And that's in the act, I believe. Indeed it is. So it'll send Jones to the charity stripe for our first free throws of the ball game.
You got to like the open space that Jeff had there, right there, and just went right to the basket, felt the contact, and trying to knock it down.
The one worry whenever you have a high-paced affair like this, Coach, and obviously the scoring's not there just yet, but the speed is as frenetic as advertised. The first free throw is good by Jones. Is you don't want to get too careless with the basketball by either team. We saw that last exchange 2 possessions ago where it was a steal, and then another careless pass that led to a steal. You don't want it to get too sloppy and wasting all that energy for nothing.
Yeah, because late in the ball game, you'll need your legs in this ball game.
Trying to work around a bit of a trap are the Tigers. They get it to Hall. Feed inside. Working around amongst the trees. The jump hook is good that time by Carson.
Like the big fella underneath. Nice job. Way to finish.
Not afraid to get involved down low.
Oh, then he stole the ball.
There's the turnover and the steal. Will he take it all the way down the floor? Indeed, Barnett does just that. I believe he was fouled, they'll say, on the floor before he got the gather up. That's going to go against Jones, who hit the free throw a couple moments ago. First foul by the Red Devils. That'll be baseline out for the Tigers. They get it quickly in that time to Carson, and after the jump hook he had the last time, the Red Devils not taking any chances. They immediately foul, and they'll send him to the charity stripe. Coleman picks up the foul.
Yeah, Coleman got him on the arm, hacked him across the arm. We'll shoot 2 free throws.
Might have been a reactionary move, if anything, as the first free throw is good by Jalen.
His 3rd point tonight already, Jimmy.
Well, I tell you jump hook a few moments ago.
Yeah, when you can get points where you don't think you're going to get points, that's a plus.
Working outside in so far tonight are the Tigers. They make them both. Largest lead of the game for them at 6 is 10-4. This first quarter, just 2 minutes gone by. Jones at the top. Working around to Lovings-Watt. Now back to Jones, and they'll say he shuffled the feet before the pass.
You know, we talk about this every single time, but every game we've done, that call has been made consistently every time.
And that's the first time I've seen one happen on a pass. I've seen it on the gather when you're trying to maybe get a little extra momentum before the drive.
Right.
But never on a feed inside like that. So they are being very deliberate. Force pass inside, almost knocked away by Lovings-Watt. Now the feed back inside. Turning around, wild shot amongst the trees was Carson. He got his own board, though, and Jalen has scored. Now he's got 5 points on the night. Second field goal for him. Make that 6 points, rather. 2 at the charity stripe and 2 field goals down low. Almost another pocket picked. Jones regains it, and he's bumped and hand-checked by Tansmore.
Malik tried his best to stop him and just bumped him with the hip. Going to be called a foul. Jeff Luttrell will bring the ball inbounds. Good shot of the official.
And that's an interesting aspect to examine as this game goes on, Coach, because we mentioned the first minute and a half of this ball game. They were kind of letting things play out. That's the first really ticky-tack foul, so to speak. There was contact there. Definitely warranted a whistle, but the first one of those we've really seen tonight.
Good point.
Barnett feeds on the corner. That drive inside to Starks. Lost it out of bounds, but they'll say it was last touched by the Tigers.
When you're going to shoot the ball at 6 with a guard, someone guarding you at 6'4", you better get that ball up in the air.
Got to bring out the floater at that point. They floated into Coleman, a little give-and-go action. Tried to find the inbounder. Instead, it drops right to Stoudemire. Looking for some help. Coleman skips to Stoudemire in the far corner. They feed it inside, a little give-and-go action, a little body contact. They say play on, but Coleman scores it.
Nice job by Coleman. Felt the contact. I thought there was enough for a foul. No whistle. That's all right. Let's play. Got the basket.
Lead down to 6. Barnett tried to work the silky handles, but lost the dribble. Might have slipped a little bit as well. Up the floor comes Stoudemire. Looking for some additional guard help. Right corner triple. Long. Board cleared that time by McMahon.
Numbers.
Sincere. Tried to push. Nice feed inside and some contact. Able to find Barnett on the baseline by the left block. He did a little half pump fake, which got the defender up in the air. That was Caleb Mason, I believe, off the bench. Third team foul on the Red Devils. First for Mason. First free throw off the mark for Barnett.
How about McMahon no-look pass underneath the basket? Nice look.
That was pretty. The defender in Mason was just there to prevent what would have been an easy layup, but a beautiful no-look find nonetheless, and Barnett tried to earn to the charity stripe and missed both. So if Mason stays out of foul trouble, that's a good foul right there by the Red Devils. Not a good pass, though, as that's a turnover. The Flying Tigers have to get it across. Solid defense.
How about the
Body
pressure?
Up there by Jones. No help behind him.
That's how I used to play defense back in the day.
I bet you did.
Denteen gum.
That's what they called you. Give it and go action. The layup is a friendly roll for Tansmore. Tansmore now with 4. Make that 5, rather. A triple and that layup here in this first quarter. The lead is 8, matching the largest of the ball game, and there's that shuffle right at the top. The point of emphasis call, that one definitely was on Lovings Watt. And we'll see some subs at the table for Crispus Attucks.
Crispus Attucks put a little bit more pressure down on the ball that time, and Chris Hawkins, I tell you, he wants perfection. He wants every single ball, every single loose ball.
After that turnover, Attucks will walk it up the floor. I say walk, and I use that term very conservatively. As a moving screen, they're going to call that a fight around the screen call against Jones. They'll say he pushed through his second foul, and immediately he subbed out of the ball game. Darren Starks, another starter who was getting some breathing on the bench, comes back in.
Tell you what, Starks, if he gets hot outside, he is dangerous.
Player to watch out for. Man, a little separation and hit it from the elbow. Sincere McMahon just got enough daylight to get that shot up. He's got 5. Largest lead of the game at 10 with just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Attucks really taking it to the Red Devils already. There's a steal. Up the way. Chin to the rim. Misfired. Board taken by Coleman. Up ahead. He's got Stoudemire, who lays it up and in. And the Red Devils want a timeout. It's a full timeout. We'll take one as well. 1:56 to go in this first quarter. 16-8. Crispus Attucks by 8 on Indian SRN.
Our family has been very happy working with Wallflower Pictures.
Because they make sure that I get the acting skills that I need in this industry and the education that I need.
Wallflower Pictures supports UV's journey in the industry. They're very passionate about his growth, and they're very professional and attentive to our needs.
And I truly believe in the projects I've worked on, like For the Boys and The Walk.
We love working with Wallflower Pictures.
Thank you for tuning into this broadcast on Indian SRN. Want to be a part of any of our broadcasts? Well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest broadcast schedules, previous games archived, and more. Subscribe to Indian SRN on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, would you? 1:45 to go in this first quarter. There's a long triple on a step-back variety by Sincere McMahon. I was going to say 16-8. It's now 19-8. Largest lead of the game for the Flying Tigers.
Folks, that was in Johnson County. I mean, that's way past the volleyball line.
Hop, skip, and a jump for that triple. Got it away. Like we said, that lead is 11. Slam time thoughts by Lovings Watt. He was fouled before he took that express way to the rim. Another look at that steal and score. Or excuse me, a rebound and score, I should say.
This is a
that led to the timeout.
Put that ball right up on the cup where no one could block it. Nice job, nice finish.
Beautiful finger roll there by Stoudemire. At the line is Will Lovings Watt. His first free throw is good. He'll have one more upcoming. Lovings Watt, his first points of the night. One more, and he knocks them both down cleanly. Active hands there by the Red Devils. Heard that one from here. but the Tigers control it, and they work it with McMahon. McMahon showing the handles. Great separation. It's sent back to another area code by Coleman. Return to sender big time.
A wise coach used to tell me that when that happens, you just have to say, "Get it out of here!"
That's it. Take one more look at that.
Beautiful read. Holy smokes.
And great vision by Coleman to know when that shot was going up. He was a step late there, though, as Q-Sean Ware gets in the scorebook with that triple from deep. The lead and the largest mark now sits at 12. A lot of contact down low. The far side official says that's body contact. Looked clean up top, and it will send Lovings-Watt back to the charity stripes. How about that, Coach? Lovings-Watt is relatively quiet for the majority of this first quarter, and now in the last 90 seconds or so, starting to be active, draw a little bit of contact, and now where he hit 2 cleanly a couple seconds ago, he'll go back.
You're on the bus, you're sitting around a little bit, and now all of a sudden he thinks that they're getting ready to get back in the ball game. That's his 3rd points of the night. I'm impressed with how big these guys are, and I mean, we've had some fouls, but they're letting them play, and that's kind of fun watching them.
And the main times the officials have stepped in have been if there's enough contact down low to warrant it. First miss of the night by Lovings-Watt, but nobody boxed him out. And they're going to call a foul, I believe, on McMahon. I don't know about that. If anything, that was a kicked ball, but I don't think McMahon got contact with him.
Yeah, I think he might have got the kick, but, they're there, we're here. They're assigned, we're not. That's okay, right? Play on.
Very, very, very politically correct of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Feed inside. That shot's off the mark. Rebound falls right to Starks. Little floater down the lane. No.
Oh, my
Going
goodness.
high for that board was Coleman. Enough to wake up the Tigers. Nice look away pass. Is that an and one? No, it's an offensive foul. Sliding in to take that charge was none other than Stoudemire. Kobe Stoudemire at 5'8". The brunt force of that. Oh, excuse me. They're going to override one another. They're going to override one another. At first, it was a charge. The Jeffersonville crowd was celebrating with it. I figured that's the way they went with that as well. That's a blocking foul, and it is an and one opportunity. So credit Barnett for contorting his body there. Initially faking the pass, getting enough separation to get the layup up. And they will say that Kobe Stoudemire was there late. What do you think of that one?
Let's play.
Missed free throw. Going to track that down was Hall. He flips it right back over to Rogers. Make that Chin, rather. They can hold for one if they want with a 13-point lead. They will not. That's a triple that's forced. 8 seconds left in the corner. Up the way, looking at the clock once, is Stoudemire. Stoudemire crosses over, almost had his pocket picked. Indeed he did. They kick it out that way, and what's the call before the buzzer sounded? No foul, they'll say just the end of the quarter. So 24-11, it's a 13-point margin for the Tigers of Crispus Attucks. After one, stay with us. We'll have more right after this on Indian SRN.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
My favorite patient. My favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
my favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
Welcome back to Crispus Attucks High School. 24-11, the score, a 13-point advantage for the Flying Tigers. You're a part of this game. Why not be a part of all of them on Indian SRN? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and never miss a second of the action. Hit that subscribe button at youtube.com and search Indiana SRN.
Dancing machine.
Coach Myers, the robot. Jimmy Cook with no dance move because I was doing a live read. 24-11, the score, a 13-point advantage for the Tigers. Coach, the pace lived up to the hype.
You bet.
But for the most part, and it was done from beyond the arc, Crispus Attucks won that first quarter by a pretty high margin, and is something that you can definitely build on moving forward with the rest of this one.
I think Jeff tried to get the ball inside and probably go inside out. Now their outside shooters got to come up on fire, and then they got to go crash the boards because Attucks has control the boards.
A travel called against Crispus Attucks. Jones makes that layup. He's at 24-13, pushes the lead down to 11.
No lead is safe when you're playing Jeffersonville or Crispus Attucks, let me tell you.
No lead is safe when you have the speed and tenacity that both these teams hold. Drive inside. Good by Barnett. Donovan pushed it back to 13. Jones down the lane, off glass. No. Board secured that time by Coleman. Little extra pass to Lovings-Watt, and he lays it up and in.
He's played pretty well, Jimmy.
Kicks the lead down back to 11. Hall at the top as they look to reassert themselves from beyond the arc. Feed inside, knocked away. Here come the Red Devils. Nice skip pass. And they'll call a travel against the Red Devils.
Substitution for the Red Devils, number 2, Kirby Stoudemire. Back in the lineup for the Tigers, number 22, Jalen Person. Also number 0, Sincere McMahon.
Axel walking up the floor. With that 11-point margin in hand. Almost had the pocket picked to McMahon. He kicks in the corner, a triple. That's long, and the board is skied up and taken by Coleman, and I believe he was fouled going for that loose ball by Jason Hall. That'll be his first. And the 6th on the team, so any fouls the rest of the way in this final 6 minutes and 20 seconds will be free throws for the Red Devils.
And that's really kind of huge right now, Jimmy. Free throws can get you in the game and the clock stop.
Especially with the pace of this game where it's been so far. Mason hesitates for the Red Devils. Now gives it up top to Jones. Jones works to Lovings-Watt, pressured by Tyron Rogers. Watt resets. Coleman gives to Jones. Is that a charge? No, it's a blocking foul. I believe falling just a tad late there was Hall. And that leads to free throws. So 1-and-1 opportunity up, as that's the second personal foul on Hall. Something to watch for. A reminder for those of you, I don't know if you've been living in the Rock for the last,
15 years.
Yeah, maybe more than that. But 5 team fouls for your DQ'd in Indiana high school basketball. 5 personal fouls, excuse me. Still 3 to play with, though, for Hall. One more free throw upcoming.
Coach Moore wants them to press up, put more pressure on the ball, as he had both point guards over there talking to him. And I think here it comes. Here comes your press.
You got some fresh legs coming in, as Darren Starks is going to come back into the ball game and give Kobe Stoudemire a little bit of a breather. So here's the pressure, but it's just applied on the inbound, though. They immediately back it off. And Sincere McMahon will walk it up. McMahon around a screen. Shows the handles. Risky pass there over to Chin. Chin the floater. Double clutch. No friendly roll. Board to Coleman. Jones now. Nice crossover. Gives it over to Coleman. Extra pass. Lovings-Watt.
Nice.
His first field goal. And it's a 7-point game. Well, Coach, you mentioned it. No lead is safe. And continuing to walk back into this one are the Red Devils. Early mid stages, I should say, of the second quarter. Chin. Pressured by Jones. Oh, nice crossover. Jump stop. Get it back over to Rogers, and he shuffled the feet. Rogers tried to go high post with it. Drug his feet a little bit. Turns it back over to the Red Devils. A picture-perfect second quarter so far for Jeffersonville. Trailed by as many as 22-10. They're on a 9-4 scoring run. That shot's off the mark. Rebound falls right to Hall. Look at him go full speed to the rim, and a jump ball tie-up is forced by the Red Devils. Arrow goes their way.
I tell you what, when he goes up in the air, you pin the ball against his chest and your hand. Good call by the officials.
That's so tough to do as a defender, to not make any body contact. It's a full timeout. We'll take one as well. 4:39 left to go in this first half. It's a 26-19 advantage for Crispus Attucks, but that lead has dwindled down to 7 on Indian SRN.
How does a good man become even better? By working out? Or by working his way up the corporate ladder? By changing his diet? Or by changing his style? By traveling the world? Or by staying perfectly still? For 300 years, we've helped good men become the best versions of themselves through a dedicated fraternity and by taking an oath to live a life of integrity, service, and brotherly love. Men who are as committed to each other and their families as they are to our noble cause. In the end, we don't just make men better, we make them Masons. Not just a man, a Mason.
Welcome back to Crispus Attucks High School. Jones with the basketball, just a simple inbound during that commercial break. As out of the timeout, Attucks looks to get a stop. Almost a steal there. Indeed, it is one. Up the way, Chin missed the layup. The follow is true, though. Crashing the glass that time was Tansmore. He followed back as the Cavalry laid it up and in and pushes the lead back to 9. A catch and shoot three. That's long. Board falls to McMahon. Look out for him in space. McMahon, all kinds of room, laid it up and in off glass. McMahon now with 8. Lead back to 11. Coleman inside, hands straight up defensively by the Tigers. They'll push up ahead. Tansmore. That's misfired, but foul called against Jeffersonville.
This game is played above the rim. Watch this, folks. This is the steal. Look how quickly he gets up the floor. Follow the shot. Nice job. Good camera work, boys. Got the A team working tonight, Jimmy.
Only the best for a broadcast featuring two top-tier teams such as this. First free throw off the mark by Tansmore. Haven't seen a lot of lobs yet this year. Coach, are you ready for it? Are you prepared for that?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I will erupt.
Tansmore knocks that one down. Lead is 12, 3:40 to go in this first half. Jeffersonville led 2-0 at the opening tip, but since then it's been all Attucks. Jones a step back, no. Board cleared by Barnett. McMahon controls, full speed ahead, got some separation and laid it off glass like a gentleman. 10 points for McMahon. And a two-handed layup by Coleman. Thought about slamming it home, but instead just dropped it in.
Yeah, you risk missing it because you were so far underneath the basket.
McMahon will pull it out and reset over to Tansmore. High post, working as Carson, battling. Lovings Watt got the upper hand, but blew the layup. In a trap, though, is Kobe Stoudemire, and he shuffled the feet. So the Tigers able to create an extra possession.
If you're watching at home and you're a young boy or a young girl playing basketball, notice the defense stayed up and down, did not reach the ball, caused a turnover.
Hall, floater, no. Board cleared by Lovings Watt. They got some numbers, but hurrying back there, that's going to be a foul called on Hall. He tried to make up for the wild drive, but made just a tad bit too much contact. That's his third. Sub at the table is Christopher Chin. You expect him to come in for Hall. Indeed he will. The worst part about that foul, though, is, as Coach mentioned, with the penalty being in effect, it leads to free points up for grabs with the clock stopped, as Lovings Watt will go to the charity stripe for the front end of a 1-and-1. That one rattles home. He'll have one more. Lead's been as high as 14. It currently sits at 11. Lovings want to try to cut it to 10. That one in and out. Barnett clears. McMahon will, on a rare occasion so far tonight, walk it up the floor.
Yeah.
Usually he's been, there quickly inside on that lob pass. And rejected by Coleman. Put back not true. Coleman tried to get the board that time, and it's going to be poked out of bounds. Last by Tansmore, but active hands by Malik Tansmore trying to get an extra bucket out of there off the offensive glass. Could not do it that time, but he's been active all night long. Had that follow on that crazy layup that he was able to put it back in, and then right there being very active to try to get an extra basket out of it for the Flying Tigers. Jones will bring it across as the Red Devils work their offense. Starks feeds to Coleman, baseline, feeling around, turning, a lot of contact, they say play on. Barnett hesitates, flips to McMahon. Barnett wanted to give and go, instead a no-look pass inside. A lot of contact from Coleman. Tansmore scores it. Lead is 13. 10 now for Tansmore. Two-handed flush by Lovings-Watt. First slam of the night. 10 points for him. First slam on an Indiana SRN broadcast that I've seen so far this season.
I think you're right.
And with 90 seconds to go in the half.
That we show because, during warm-ups, we slam it all the time.
That's true. Carson knocks down the mid-range jumper. I like to say often, though, Coach, a warm-up dunk is worth about as much as my dunks in the pool and pool basketball. They don't count for anything. There's a nice shot that time by Jones. See, I don't lie to the folks and tell them I had nice handles. I'll tell them what the real business is of my current basketball career. That wild shot is made off the mark by McMahon. Here come the Red Devils in transition. That transition three is no. Rebound, though, cleared by Mason. Jones controls. A lot of space. Some contact, too. Coleman fights, taps to Jones. 43 seconds to go in the half. Jones hand checked. What a pass to find Coleman, and he's fouled. Got caught up with Carson there. They let him play the last two feeds inside, but that time just too much contact to let it go. Second foul against Carson. And it will send Trey Coleman to the charity stripe. First one's good. You might have very well had handles like that. I don't know. I don't have the footage for
I did not have handles.
Okay.
Trust me.
Did Riley? Did any of us? Any of our crew here?
Thad Van Deventer was the basketball star.
Yeah.
On our crew.
There you go.
He shot the ball anywhere he wanted to shoot the ball. If you passed the ball to him, he wasn't going to give it back.
Green light. Green light at all times.
Exactly right.
Coleman knocks them both in.
The Laker that he was, the Shakamak Laker.
Lead is 9. And the Tigers may hold for one here.
I'm sure Thad's watching tonight and probably cracking up right now.
Ten seconds to go in the half.
This is the slowest it's been all night.
Chin with 4. Chin the crossover for 3. That's off the mark. Board to Lovings-Watt. Extra pass. Should have just shot it. That won't count. Good look by Mason, but it would not have counted anyway. Halftime arrives with a 9-point lead for the host Flying Tigers of Crispus Attucks. They lead Jeffersonville 37-28. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more after this. You're watching high school basketball on Indiana SRN.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Back at halftime with Attucks leading Jeffersonville by the score of 37-28. The Hoosier Basketball Magazine is out. If you like to get a Hoosier Basketball Magazine, you can call them anytime at 317-925-8200. Check out page 59 because that's Kyle's favorite page. That's our page, Indiana SRN's page.
That's right. That's right.
Talk a little bit about how your weekend has been because you've been watching basketball during the whole entire winter break.
Oh yeah, trying to keep up on everything, and then of course we're getting into the fun part now, where we're not too far away from sectionals, and of course Marion County tournament coming up, and a lot of fun stuff. City coming up this month, so January's a big month, and then we hit the fun stuff in late February.
Kyle, you can read Kyle Steff in the Indianapolis Star-News. You've seen a lot of teams, the best 4A team you've seen so far this year.
Probably Lawrence Central, or Lawrence North, excuse me. Lawrence North and Lawrence Central are probably the two best teams. We saw them go head-to-head, and Lawrence North won that game. And Lawrence Central's a team, they haven't got beat since then. They've come back really strong, beat this Attucks team in kind of a blowout game, and won the Hall of Fame Classic. So I think right now the Lawrence Township schools both look like they're a little bit ahead of everybody else. And then I think in 4A, really, you've got Brownsburg, you've got teams like Attucks who on a given night look really good. I think there's a lot of good teams in 4A, but I think right now Lawrence North and then Lawrence Central kind of 1A and 1B.
We've seen North Central play very, very well here lately, and also Avon, another 4A team. 3A, Silver Creek looks like they're the best team in the state of Indiana.
Well, yeah, we saw them at the Southport shootout at Southport Fieldhouse last month, and a really good game against Blackhawk Christian. Blackhawk, a team that I think they can compete with about anybody in anywhere in the state. So Silver Creek with Cooper Jacoby and Trey Kaufman, really tough for any 3A team to compete against those guys inside. And then Brandon Northern has really come on for them as well at the guard spot as a sophomore. So really good mix of players for Silver Creek.
And then I think 2A is wide open. We've seen Covenant Christian play well at times, and other times they look not very good at all. 2A is wide open, and I think 1A as well is pretty much wide open.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that Blackhawk team. I think if they put it all together, they've got the experience of last year, of course, of playing in the state championship game and winning in 1A, and now moving up to 2A. I still think they're as good, as talented as anybody, with Caleb First inside, and they really spread the floor and shoot the ball really well. So I like what they can do, but I think you're right. I think there's a lot. Bar Reeve, you talk about those small schools of tradition. They're right there with anybody in 1A. So. I think there's a lot of things still to sort out. That's kind of the fun part of, as we get into January, kind of see, who's who really. And there's some good stories out there. Like, there's a South Decatur team that's sitting there 10-0, and they haven't had any success in recent years. And so it's fun to see stories like that where you see kind of some new blood start to rise, and new teams have good seasons too. So it'll all shake out. There's a long season left ahead of us.
We talked about this during the football about maybe seeding the sectional. Do you have that same feeling for basketball? Seat those sectionals, maybe have the best two teams seated and see if they could get to the championship, give them the sectional, and then make it wide open?
I don't feel as strongly in basketball as football. I think it's more of the more we go on, it's more of a football issue, just because of the way the tournament's set up. I think in 5A and 6A, especially in football, just the manner of having those 32 teams kind of lends itself to a seeding, in my opinion. But basketball, I don't really sense that that's any big deal. I think the sectionals in basketball are great. And I do in football, too. I just think there's a way in football, I think you could make it a little bit more competitive at the end of the tournament. In basketball, I think we see the talent's more spread out throughout the state. And in football, I think it's more at the big school level, concentrated in central Indiana a little bit more. So I think that's what people want to see is it'd be fun to see some of these, the Ben Davis and Warren and whoever maybe playing a little bit later in the tournament. And I think that's kind of where that kind of stems from. And I think there's a way to do it. And you've already made it different anyway with having 32 teams only. So I think there's a way to do it in football. Basketball, I don't see it as much as necessary.
And finally, the girls' season's almost over. They got maybe 5-6 games left. Girls basketball wide open. We're getting ready for sectional play in less than a month. You're looking forward to girls basketball season.
Well, I think you look at around here, Hamilton Southeastern and Sydney Parrish, and what she, the end of a great career that she had at HSE. But you saw them get beat by Fishers here recently, so that goes to show there's a lot of talent, a lot of teams who have kind of been there and done that. So I'm looking forward to that as well. That's another thing to really look forward to here.
City tournament is January 16th through the 18th right here on Indiana SRN. Kyle, thank you very much for your time. I'll let you get back to work.
All right, thanks so much. Enjoy it.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with Jimmy right after this. You're watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Welcome back to Crispus Attucks High School. Just a few minutes left in the halftime break. I want to thank you so much for spending part of your Thursday evening with us here on Indiana SRN as you have shots of both the Crispus Attucks and Jeffersonville squads getting in some warm-up shots. It's a 9-point advantage for the Tigers at the break. In that first quarter of play, it was a 24-11 advantage to the Tigers. And then it was just a lower scoring second quarter, 13-12, just an edge by the Tigers of Crispus Attucks there in that second quarter of play. A lot of that hampered by the way officiating went. More foul calls were present in that second frame. A lot of that also having to do with the fact that both teams tried to go inside a little bit more and use their size down low. Trey Coleman, a particular beneficiary of that, the 6'6" forward with 6 points in that first half. On the other side of things, Sincere McMahon carried a large portion of the weight for the Flying Tigers. He had 12 points, 2 of which were from beyond the arc. Also chipping in 10 points was Malik Tansmore. As we welcome Coach back into the frame, Tansmore specifically was a huge cog in the Tigers' attack because he was doing a little bit of everything. He was tracking down loose balls, he was crashing the glass, creating extra possessions, not afraid to get dirty down low. Himself, combined with Sincere McMahon's play from downtown and his ability to pretty much get to the rim at ease, even against this stout Jeffersonville front, is part of the reason why the Tigers lead by 9 heading into the second half.
Yeah, you look at the biggest lead that Attucks had in the whole entire first half was 13, and Jeffersonville cut it to 9. Really had an opportunity really to cut it down to 6 if they knocked down that three-pointer. I think that's one thing. If I'm a Chris Moore, I think I want to work on transition baskets because I think a lot of times they're running, but they're not looking inside. They're just maybe shooting a jump shot and waiting for that to see if the inside game will come back to them. This game is long from over, folks. This is pretty easy. This is 2 trips down the floor, 3 trips down the floor, and you're right back in it.
Is there anything that you expected to see in that first half from this game that you did not see in that first half?
Not really. I think both teams played what they did. Both teams went after the 50-50 ball, which we talked about. Both of them crashed the board. I'm really surprised how big the bigs are playing. They handle the ball, and they have great handles, and I'm very impressed. At 6'9", some of these guys bringing down the ball, that's pretty impressive.
A reminder for those of you that are joining us here on Indiana SRN, we really appreciate you having us hopefully as your primary screen, but if you're not and you're watching the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, the Tennessee Volunteers on top of the Indiana Hoosiers 6-0. We don't have the game on, obviously we're focused on this, but just 4 seconds left in that first half. So if you are a Hoosiers fan, hopefully you're at least keeping us a part of your night, and for that, we thank you. A turnover right out of the gate by the Tigers. All the way to the rim is Jones. He missed the layup. Rebound tracked down by Tansmore. Up ahead, a little Euro action hanging off the mark by Carson. Trying to get his own board. It's secured and taken by Coleman. Wild pass, jumping that lane, skying in like a free safety was Donovan Barnett. He knocked that out of bounds. It'll stay with the Red Devils. Well, Coach, the speed of this first 30 seconds was high octane as we expected, but
no
a couple turnovers really show for it. Backdoor pass, layup.
You got to
off the mark.
Man, you got to knock those down.
Left that one at the table. Trailing is Barnett. Extra pass, baseline jumper. Good for Jalen Carson.
See, that has to hurt you because you had the layup, you had 2 layups, and now you miss, and then you miss, and they come down and shoot. He's got 14 on the night.
Carson doing his fair share as well. We didn't mention him in the halftime box score, but he was the third player right there for the leading scoring honors for the Red Devils. There's a 3-ball knocked down by Caleb Mason, his first triple of the ball game. He's now got his first basket of the ball game as well, and the lead down to 8. So just as Coach mentioned, the lead was starting to get trimmed a little bit in that second quarter. Crispus Attucks finally got back to their old ways. That layup took a lap around the rim, and Tansmore scores it again.
Chris Hawkins wanted to know why there was no foul called.
Could have been an and one opportunity. Jones, daylight, the line,
oh, boy. There you go. Gotta love it.
Lovings-Watt throws it down. Layup on the other end. That's sent back. And it's a jump ball.
How about this dunk? Watch this. Eyes up front. Sees him. Bang. Wow. Pretty impressive.
2 hands.
Coach Moore just goes, go ahead, play that. Go play defense.
Gotta get back.
It's just a basket.
It's the same as the layup. Gotta get back on D.
One coach told me one time, a slam is just 2 points. Let's play. Okay. Pretty electrifying, isn't it?
Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, I would
That's
say.
That's exactly right. Good call,
on those
Jimmy.
type of plays. Starks trying to continue this little momentum train they're riding. Jones to the rim, a lot of contact. They say play on. Board is controlled by Hall. He's off to the races. Lays it up. It's sent back by Coleman. And the rebound is secured by Mason before he's shoved to the deck. They'll call that one on Tansmore. That's his third.
Tansmore was nowhere, he couldn't go anywhere. So he had to, if he stopped, he would have ran into him. I think they still call foul on him.
More than likely, given the situation he was out on the floor. Lovings-Watt feeds high post. Coleman has a little bit of a size advantage on Tansmore, trying to utilize it. Spins up and under. Got it. And one. No, the official says my time. It was just for the substitution. So no foul there. The Jeffersonville faithful thought they had one. He was just doing it for the sub. But it pushes this lead down to 6.
Well, that's a quick timeout for the official to make that call. Oh, there's lots of water on the floor there. Now they're trying to clean that up. So
as one would expect, the way bodies are hitting the deck.
Understand exactly why he called that. Safety. Good call.
McMahon. Hands off to Hall.
Jeffersonville has done a better job this quarter of putting the ball in front of them.
Hall hesitates, feeds inside. High pass to Tansmore. Catch and shoot from the top of the key is good for Carson. 12 now for Carson. Lead back to 8. Under 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Jones wants a screen. Doesn't utilize it. Instead feeds in the corner. Jones trying to get it back. Jumping the passing lane is Hall. He uses that breathtaking speed. Circus shot can't go down. And the rebound taken by Lovings Watt. He's got some daylight.
That was great defense.
Extra pass. Corner three. Buckets. Knocked it down. That time did Kobe Stoudemire. And the lead down to 5. Stoudemire has 5 as well. The crowd here has gone quiet for the Flying Tigers of Crispus Attucks. They need a bucket in a desperate way. There's one. McMahon now just long. And the board controlled by Stoudemire. Gives to Jones. Went behind the back, now resets. Force feeds inside. Coleman had it stripped away.
Good help.
It's a 3-on-3. McMahon to the rim. Got it to go. Lead now 7. McMahon with 16. And a foul en route to the cup. Or was that in the act? Let's see. They'll call it against Carson. That'll be his third. And it was indeed in the act of shooting. So Lovings Watt, who's had a pretty productive, if you smush together his second and third quarters, he's been very productive with 14 points. That first one, though, is short. Hate to see that.
They've missed 4 or 5 free throws that they creep them right back in the game.
I know you and I both feel that same way. And the bugaboo is the free ones left at the table. And a timeout taken. It's a 30-second timeout. Indeed it is. We'll stay here. 3:39 left to go in this third quarter. The Tigers of Crispus Attucks on top by 7, 45-38. We mentioned it, Coach. Starting to get a little bit of momentum are the Red Devils. And the one thing you hate to see, points left at the charity stripe.
Yeah, you got to make free throws. Friday night action on Indiana SRN. That's tomorrow night. Can you believe it?
Man.
6 o'clock, Heritage Christian versus Ben Davis. That's a girls' game. 7:30, good one on head. Southport at Plainfield. And a good one, 1A battle. This is a great one. Girls basketball. Number 8, Greenwood Christian taking on Park Tudor. 6:30 start. I'll have that broadcast. That's on webcast. Getting a little bit of 1 and 2A action. I'll tell you what, that's a rivalry that's been going on for a long, long time. Should be a great one on Indiana SRN.
Man, 2020 starting to chug right along for Indiana SRN. All jokes aside, though, that schedule's going to start flying by as we,
oh my goodness,
we get rolling here in January. Lovings Watt at the line. That free throw is good. So he splits the pair. Cuts the deficit to 6. Attucks still searching for a couple more buckets. McMahon gives to Hall. Hall works the handles. Triple in the air. Triple is knocked down. That time by Tyron Rogers. His first basket of the evening. Lead back to 9. Well, that's been one area where the advantage is still lied in the Tigers' den, so to speak, is the three-point shot. They've been dominating from beyond the arc. Careless turnover there by the Red Devils.
Yeah, they're running a motion offense, and he got a quick start. You know, as sloppy as it's been a little bit, they're right in this mix.
Yeah, if you're Coach Moore right now and you look at the scoreboard and look at the box score to see how many times you turn the basketball over and to be within 9 with still a whole quarter to play plus 3 minutes here.
Pretty impressive.
No doubt. Hall thought about a triple at the top.
Good defense.
Finds his man in Tansmore. Buckets! Malik Tansmore again. His second triple of the night. He's got 15. Lead back to 12 in the blink of an eye.
You know, Jeffersonville cuts this within 6, and now all of a sudden they're right back at it.
Stoudemire in trouble, almost turned it over. They know a man's open, and they find him on the alley-oop layup. Lovings Watt scores it. 10-point game. 13 for Lovings-Watt. That shot scores true for Carson. Jones thought he got bumped. Hands off to Stoudemire. Feed inside. Too hot for Lovings-Watt. Almost had his pocket picked. A little bit of contact called against Rogers. And it'll send Lovings-Watt back to the charity stripe to earn it the hard way. First foul.
But here's the thing. The foul totals
on
are
Rogers,
coming up.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Foul totals adding up. That's the third team foul on Crispus Attucks. And Jeffersonville hasn't committed one. Free throw could come down to free throw line.
Very similar to the way that the first half started, though it should be noted, Coach, even though it might come down to the free throw line, Jeffersonville is not taking advantage of all their opportunities there. So even though there's a huge disparity in terms of foul shots taken, the Red Devils have not done their best, I should say, to maximize that scoring output.
You just had to ruin my little point, didn't you?
Just a tad.
Good point, though. They're down
they
by
balance each other.
Down by 10 right now. Now, putting a little bit more pressure. Notice that the guards are going to probably pick them up at three-quarter court.
Still playing casually with it after showing the pressure. They'll back it off a tad, but Coach is right. We're getting close to that territory the way this game flow has gone. Nice steal that time. It's regained by Hall. Hall almost whoopsie-doed it. And they'll call that a goaltend, I believe. Would have been made anyway. I don't think the block really had much to do with it after it was off glass, but either way, the bucket still counts, and the lead back to 12. How about Hall staying with that? Almost had his pocket picked and pulled 2 points out of his hat.
Yeah, 12 points.
90 seconds to go in this third quarter. Jeffersonville knocked away at this lead for the early portions of this third. We'll go baseball pass with it and hold that thought. McMahon, extra pass, layup up. Layup in by Tanzamore. Anyway, Jeffersonville was chipping away at this lead, but it's been all Attucks the last 3.5 minutes. That jumper short. Coleman, the board. They'll reset things. Starks at the volleyball line. Now Jones. He likes that matchup. To the rim. Is it a charge? No, it's a blocking foul. Thought that one was going to be for sure the other way. Is sliding in to attempt to take that charge was Christopher Chin, but they'll call the blocking foul on him.
He's been consistent with that call. Gotta like that.
Yet to see a single charge tonight, so that's true. I can't argue that. It's been consistently block city and not the good kind of basketball, unless you're a Jeffersonville fan. First free throw good by Jones. He'll have one more with 59 and 3 ticks left in this third quarter. 11 points for Jones. Trying to make it 12 here and make the deficit 12 as well. He does. Jones been the one bright spot at the charity stripe. So despite everything, the missed free throws, the turnovers, the lackadaisical play in the back half of this third quarter, Jeffersonville still very much within striking distance, just down by 12.
You need a couple of stops here.
Feed inside. Layup is good, and now something we didn't see the first two quarters. The inside presence starting to dominate for Crispus Attucks as Tanzamore puts that in. He's now got 19. Lovings-Watt had it stripped on the way up, and just a tad too fast that time was Christopher Chin. Got a little bit too ahead of himself. He knocked it off of his knee. Out of bounds to the Red Devils. Coleman back in after a quick breather. Same for Jacob Jones.
Might want to slow that down a little bit. I think Coach Hawkins probably would want to settle that, kick that right back out.
That's a tad too frenetic. There is apparently such a thing for these two teams. And the Red Devils will hold for one. Unless they get a good look out of it, of course. Jacob Jones. Just past half court with 5. Dribbled it off his foot. Coleman give it go to Jones. With 2. Had his pocket picked. At the horn. A tomahawk jam. Wanted that, and all of it did Tanzamore, but it was after the horn. So a dominant back half of the third quarter by the Crispus Attucks Tigers gives them a 14-point lead headed into the final frame. They lead 59-45 over Jeffersonville. We'll have that fourth quarter coming up after this on Indiana SRN.
Parents, do you like free food? Hike it on over to Prodigy Burger and Bar, where Monday is family night and kids eat free. Every day you can find daily specials featuring craft burgers, tacos, wings, and more. Prodigy is now playing the NFL Sunday Ticket on more than 25 TVs, so you won't miss a second of your favorite teams. Prodigy also caters, hosts private events, as well as dine and donates. Celebrate your school spirit with us at Prodigy Burger and Bar. More than just burgers, located in Clay Terrace in Carmel.
Hey, everybody. YouTube, subscribe to it. You won't miss a game. You'll see every game coming up, and you get to see replay after replay after replay. Indiana SRN. Subscribe for it today.
That's the coach, Keith Myers. I'm Jimmy Cook. Start of the fourth quarter here at historic Crispus Attucks High School. The home of the Big O, Oscar Robertson. His Tigers on top of Jeffersonville, 59-45. Coach, a lot's gone right for Crispus Attucks. Of course, I say that, a travel out front, but a lot has gone right for the Tigers, particularly from beyond the arc. And in that third quarter, at least the final 4 minutes or so of that third quarter, they started to dominate the interior as well.
Yeah, you know, you started this game with a 13-point lead, 24-11 at the end of one, and they just continued to play it. And I love the last 3 minutes, how they finished the third quarter.
Jeffersonville yet to have a momentum swing of their own. They had a little bit in the start of the third quarter, but then it all went by the wayside.
Yeah, they had this down to 6 points, and then Attucks just went on a tear.
Triple missed by Mason. The officials say play on, and here come the Tigers. So there's a turnover.
I want to say hello to our colleague Bill Ludlow as he is watching this game, and him and Thad will have the Attucks Lawrence North game for you Saturday night on Indiana SRN radio broadcast only. So check out Bill Ludlow and Thad Van Deventer on Saturday night.
That'll be a fun one for sure. Thank you, Bill. We look forward to catching that Lawrence North Crispus Attucks game. A lot of business to take care of, though, for the Tigers to make it 5 of their last 6 being victories. They added their lead there. Timmy Trim with the lead there. They tried to add the lead on the layup. Up the way comes Jones. Coleman. One little hop step to the rim and laid it in. One big hop step, I should say, but Coleman knocks it in. He's got 10, and the lead is 10. Still plenty of time for the Red Devils to try to make a little bit of a rally here. It's important for Attucks to be deliberate, and it's a slow pace right now in terms of their half court. They've been pretty fast to get to the basket. Well, maybe it doesn't matter. What do I know? There's a triple knocked in by Rogers. Lead back to 13. They were playing possum there, I guess.
I kind of like that. Well, they should still it. Three-pointer. Bang. 62-49. Hey, we're 8 points away from it.
I gotta tell you what. Well, you said, I thought you said 75.
Oh, it's 75.
So
I
13.
did. Okay.
13. I want you to earn it the hard way.
All right.
We can still get there, but got a little ground to work up.
Now I'm sweating it.
Jacob Jones slips. Maybe a little moisture there. Could have gotten his feet tangled up either way. They'll say it was inadvertent. The right call there. And the Tigers will bring it up the floor after an inbound from Christopher Chin. McMahon. Man went full speed and then stopped on a dime, just past the timeline. Asked for a screen from Tansmore. Almost lost the handle, and he does. Mason with the steal.
Good defense.
Jones almost carried the basketball. He'll hesitate. Found Coleman. Turns around. Misfired. Rebound Rogers. Rogers thought about pushing the floor. And he turns it over. Coleman all by himself. Look out. He throws it down with one hand. Timeout taken by the Red Devils. It's a full timeout. We'll take one as well. 5:16 to go in the fourth. An 11-point lead for the Crispus Attucks Tigers on Indiana SRN.
Hello. My name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the Indiana SRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at Indiana SRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at indianasrn.org. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
You know, it's been nice to come back on this second day of January. I look at my schedule, and all I got is Jimmy Cook on my schedule. I don't understand.
Oh, man, I said the same thing. I had some guy named Keith on my schedule.
Man.
No idea who's making those. Need to contact
Thanks,
whoever the head of scheduling is. 5:07 left to go in this final quarter. That's the coach, Keith Myers. I'm Jimmy Cook. Thanks again so much for spending part of your second day of the new year with us, as that triple is misfired off the mark by Hall. Rebound by Jones. Jones up ahead, falling away off glass and in.
Gotta like it. They're back in it.
Lead down to 9. Feels like every time they get within single digits, though, there's a big counter punch responded by Attucks. Can the Red Devils finally get a stop? Tansmore gives to Hall. Will run the offense. Man, high pass, hesitates, has Hall all alone in the corner for 3. Booked his flight and knocked it down. Lead back to 12. Well, it stinks to be right all the time sometimes, but he's got 6 now. And just like that, a bucket made by the Red Devils, and it's responded by a triple from Crispus Attucks. Jones the answer. That one just short. Tried to sky high for his board. Rebound cleared by Tansmore. Up ahead. Hall. Little Euro. Had his pocket picked. It squirts out, and it's taken by Hall. He wants to slow down.
How about that? Hall gets the ball picked off, and he doesn't stop and pout about it.
Didn't
he
give
goes
up on
back
the play.
and get the ball. I love it.
Love that energy. McMahon around a screen. Has a roller if he wants him. Tried to force it, and they'll say he was hit on the wrist by, I believe, Mason was there. Let's wait for clarification. No correction. That'll go on Loving's Watt. And even more surprising, they're going to say that was in the act. Let's take one more look. We mentioned it. You have a quick 2 by the Red Devils. How do the Tigers answer? Well, that's a double team, and a great look by McMahon to find Hall all by himself. Beautiful read there by the senior.
And he had all day. Like you said, he booked a ticket, waited for the airplane to land.
He was on a bit of a layover there, Coach. That's how
goodness.
long he had in the corner.
You should knock those down if you have that much time. Missed the second free throw.
Can't have that. Split the pair, lead is 13. Red Devils looking for some answers. They had early success with Coleman. Tried to feed it inside of Loving's Watt. Was it kicked? It was. So it'll stay on this end. Give credit where credit is due. The play down low of Carson, that's Jalen Carson, and Tyron Rogers for Attucks. Really done a good job of keeping Coleman in check here in the second half. Tried to catch him napping. Mason's 3 is good. They do just that. There is a little bit of a spark. Lead down to 10. 6 points now for Mason. So just under 3.5, still some time, but you got to start getting stops. Can't afford to trade baskets with the Tigers.
And it's at 10 again.
Do we get another triple answer by the Flying Tigers? McMahon very close to the timeline there. Around a screen.
Oh, like that pick.
Beautiful find.
Oh.
They tried to go unselfish with it, but maybe one pass too many.
Yeah, but you know what? They had the nice look, the turn and look, and I think he should have just went up for the shot.
Yep.
Good
that pass was pretty fast. Ware could not hang on to it. So 3 minutes to go, 10-point game as Jacob Jones, the senior, walks it up. Jones down the lane, tried to force that pass inside. It's off the leg of Ware. So it'll stay on this end.
That's when you're forcing it inside when nobody's there. Work it back out, top of the key. Let's see what you got.
They caught him napping on the last inbound play. Let's see if it happens here. Forced it to Loving's Watt. It was tipped. Loving's Watt secures it. Almost traveled. Up ahead. That layup is good by Stoudemire. So good presence of mind by Loving's Watt. And a turnover by the Tigers. They threw it into the bench of Jeffersonville. So hang on to your hats. This is now an 8-point game, and the Red Devils have the basketball underneath their own hoop. Carroll was passed that time by Attucks, a rare head scratcher by the Tigers. Catch and shoot long, 2 is good. Give that to Coleman. Timeout, Red Devils. Is it a 30 or a full? It's a 30-second timeout. We'll stay here. 2:34 left to go in this ball game, and the Red Devils within 6, the closest they've been since the early goings of this ball game. And it's all thanks to the fast-paced play the last couple possessions, but Trey Coleman as well with 14 points for Jeffersonville.
Now, if you're at Crispus Attucks, what you need to do, you need to run a high-low offense. If the three-point is there, make sure it's going to be there. But you really want 2 points. You want to get down the floor, run some time off the floor, get a basket. You know, foul situation, 14 fouls for Crispus Attucks, only 1 against Jeffersonville. That could be a troublemaker late in the game if you have to foul to get the 1-and-1.
Especially the way that Jeffersonville has played defensively. They've played relatively cleanly. Now, there's also been opportunities where it's just been wide open for the Tigers and uncontested shots, no fouls. We play on.
You know, this game could rock you to sleep and didn't realize it's a 6-point ball game, but that's where we are.
It's like a heavyweight prize fight. McMahon, floater, got it.
Change hands.
Just when you needed a bucket, Sincere McMahon delivers, lead back to 8. A little bit of breathing room for the Tigers. What answer do the Red Devils have? Starks had Jones, instead he'll call him off. Feeds Mason. Now Loving Starks. Long triple. That's off the mark, and the board controlled by Crispus Attucks. Coming up limp a tad there was Carson after the board. Kind of shakes it off and is all right. 1:45 to go.
Coach Hawkins had his hands up, slow it down, run the offense.
Red Devils want 1 stop. Attucks wants 1 bucket. McMahon sees a double come, goes behind the back, forces inside, and what an extra pass by the senior, and the layup is good by Tansmore. Lead back to 10. Jones has Mason in the corner. Instead he'll kick right side opposite corner. 3 in and out. Coleman the follow, and he's fouled.
Tansmore leads Attucks with 21 tonight.
Let's take one more look. The unselfish play by McMahon. Senior to sophomore.
Split the defenders and then just saw him underneath the baskets. Nice job. He could have been very selfish and shoot that ball, but gave up the assist. Good job.
Coleman at the foul line. That free throw is good. Well, we talked about the free throw discrepancy. There's been many points left at the table. It's Coleman now with 15 by the Red Devils. Late adjustment coming in for the Red Devils. That pause by the officials. And now one more free throw with a $1:18 to go. Second one short. Rebound tracked down and taken by Tansmore.
One of the keys of the game was we needed to knock down free throws.
Haven't done that so far tonight. Almost a turnover. That's knocked out of bounds by the Red Devils, and now the full court pressure comes. They get it inside of McMahon. He had a bunch of daylight and a couple fellow guards streaking down the floor. They might be patient, just hold. Hall gives to Tansmore. And McMahon, the senior, wisely calling for it. The coaching staff loves it as they'll drag it out with under a minute to go.
How about that? He had an open layup and kicked it right back out. Oh, there's a deflection.
There's a turnover. Lovings Watt gives to Mason. He's hit a triple already tonight. In a trap, though. Had it knocked away. Here's a steal. Up ahead. A little give and go. McMahon, like a gentleman, off glass. And the lead back to 11. Final 40 seconds of this one. Attucks starting to put it in the cooler. Bounce feed. Double clutch is good by Lovings Watt. And a timeout by Jeffersonville. Is it a full timeout or a 30? It's a full timeout. We'll take our last one as well. 35.3 to go in this one. Attucks trying to hang on, lead by 9 on Indiana SRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
.1 to go. Crispus Attucks with the basketball and a 9-point lead. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Keith Myers. Every time you think that Attucks pulls away, the Red Devils are right back in it. They'll need a couple stops here, though. Starts with some full court pressure. Easily blowing by it is Hall, and he's fouled at about midcourt. But it's just the second team foul on the Red Devils, and that's where we thought it might be a disadvantage to Crispus Attucks, but in reality it's a huge disadvantage in this scenario to the Red Devils because you still have 5 fouls to give before the bonus arrives. And they tried to foul Hall that time. That could be off his leg. No, they'll say it was tipped out by Jones.
That's great help defense and a great help by the officials communicating. Nice job by the officials.
Trying to inbound it in is Tansmore. He does get it into Hall. Wild pass. McMahon went up high to get it. And his pocket pick. It's a foot race. Jones. A lot of contact, and he's fouled late. And are they going to count that? No, they're not. So
no,
we
they're
thought
not.
they were going to count that basket, but instead it's just a foul on Barnett.
I really thought he was going to let the foul go. I think if that basket would have went in, and maybe they're going to call this goaltending.
That's what I thought initially was that they were counting the basket. Let's see. They are going to count the basket. Oh, my goodness. The basket's going to count, and it'll be an and one opportunity.
That came out of nowhere, didn't it?
That's what it looked like the official called initially. And I think the Crispus Attucks fans are just now finding out about it.
I think he grabbed the rim.
Yep.
And that's goaltending.
Well, they've struggled to the line, have the Red Devils. Jones needs this one, though, and that one's off the mark as well. So the lead sits at 7, final 15 seconds to go, and there's the foul committed, but again, just the third team foul on Jeffersonville. Now, if this was a closer game, I'd say, well, you could start to get a little bit more reckless if you're Jeffersonville because you have so many fouls to give. You know you're going to be committing the foul, you might as well try to get a little push off and get that basketball back. And try to do that just there, as right in front of us is Sincere McMahon, collided with the support of the scorer's table. Just a fourth team foul on Jeffersonville, and this is where the clock becomes a huge factor.
Becomes your friend.
If you're the Attucks Tigers, and they might just call off the dogs. Indeed they will. Hall showing off the track speed. Final seconds ticking away. Well, it was hard fought and earned for the Crispus Attucks Tigers, but down the stretch of a poised fourth quarter, they are victorious over the Jeffersonville Red Devils, 72-65. Let's take a look at some numbers as we await coach's conversation with Coach Hawkins. Just a few moments away, and actually there is Coach Hawkins. We'll dive into scores here in just a minute. Our own, the coach, Keith Meyer, stands by with a victorious Coach Chris Hawkins. Coach?
With us now is Chris Hawkins. Coach, up and down before we go. Free throws key to the game, and did they miss free throws? You came down, cut it within 6. You knocked down a big 3. It's just the way this team's been playing all year long.
Yeah, we made a lot of big shots. I think the biggest thing was Jalen Carson played really well down low, forced them to have to come down and play him honestly, and then Sincere and our other guards were able to do exactly what we needed to do.
This team now is on a roll, Coach. You've been playing very, very well. Now you got to forget all about this one because Lawrence North is Saturday. What do you tell the kids? You go in the locker room, celebrate one day, and then go back and ready to play on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, we go in practice tomorrow. I mean, Lawrence North's #1 team in the state. So, they have bigs, they have guards. So, we'll be prepared. Just got to go in and just play our best game and give ourselves a chance to win.
Indiana SRN been with you all year long. You did a nice job. Thank you so much for your hospitality. Congratulations. Happy New Year. Way to start off the year.
Hey, thank you, and we appreciate you guys coming in, and we really love this partnership.
Chris Hawkins was going to give me a ring, but he decided not to give it to me, Jimmy. I don't know why, but he's not going to give it to me.
That's a valuable piece of hardware.
I'll give you one.
Thanks, Chris. Back up to you guys.
That's a valuable piece of hardware for Coach Chris Hawkins. And the season's still very, very young for them, but a lot of success underneath the umbrella of Coach Chris Hawkins for Crispus Attucks. We wish them much success the rest of the year, along with the Jeffersonville Red Devils. The Red Devils will fall to 6-4. They were led by Will Lovings-Watts, 19, and Trey Coleman's 15. Heck of a combo by those two. And then Coach mentioned, that's Coach Hawkins, of course, as his team improves to 7-2 on the season. He mentioned Jalen Carson. He had 14 points. Leading the way, though, was Malik Tansmore's 20. And then Sincere McMahon, the senior, with 19 points. Up next for the Red Devils, they will take on Tell City 2 days from now. A 7:30 tip to be back in the friendly confines in Jeffersonville. And for the Crispus Attucks Tigers, they are now winners of 5 of their last 6. And they'll also have a date on the 4th. That one will be here, a radio broadcast on Indiana SRN at Lawrence North, a 6:30 tip for that one. How about wrap it up from historic Crispus Attucks High School? Again, our final, the Flying Tigers of Crispus Attucks 72, the Jeffersonville Red Devils 65. Be sure to stay tuned to indianasrn.org for all the latest broadcasts upcoming, especially a big weekend of high school hoops. And for the coach, Keith Myers, this is Jimmy Cook saying until we talk to you next time, so long, everybody.